Hey, welcome to the Crafty Music Tips YouTube channel, the channel where I, Crafty, amongst other things, I go and check out a bunch of really early stages videos of successful artists.
Great success!
Why would I do that? Well, you know, there's so much to learn from the early stages of artists that have got really successful. And if we're careful, we just might be able to utilize some of that info for our own evil doing.
Excellent.
Go along the ride with me. Let's check out some early Black Sabbath. 1970. Let's check it out.
Charlie illumination after all.
Like a little girl behind the wall.
There's your light. Yeah, lyrics is around in there.
Oh, they're so young.
I don't know, I'm going to try some Remos, you know, because these Ludwigs, they're nice, but I'm going to try the Remos because
Can someone the roadies down for a drink?
You're all in Barcelona, yeah? You. In the night as well.
Yeah, but
St. John.
Well, it's nice to know that me and my muso mates are not the only ones that like to piss fart around. I'm fascinated by all of the... just the old gear. Yeah. All right, look, I won't pause every 5 seconds, but just straight off the bat, I mean, like, how good's the sound? I mean, like, there's obviously been some remixing or remastering or something happening here, but, I mean, the performances, the abilities, no matter how good the sound quality, are still there, no matter what. And as long as you can hear Ozzy sing, I mean, like, he's got such a good amount of expression. Just if you shut your eyes and listen, it's so expressive, his voice. He's just got so much character in it. And, you know, all of the other guys, what a fantastic rhythm section. But just back on Ozzy, you know, like, when you were looking at him, you know, you see
gratuitous amounts of energy.
You know, as soon as he's finished singing his line and he's got a few bars where it's just the band, you know, he's just like unleashed. He's just so excited, and that's so infectious as an audience member.
It's just so exciting.
If anyone's wondering here, you know, why there's two microphones and they're taped up, well, this is the old school technology of one is going straight out to the live PA in the room, and the other one is what we're hearing, the recording. fantastic. Oh, so interesting. Wow, it wouldn't have been great to have been there. It was, well, before I was born. Now, one really good characteristic of any good act is if what you're hearing live not only stands up against the recorded version in the studio, but sometimes, could even sound better. And I don't know what you think, but listening to that sounded pretty damn good. And, like Ozzy was singing like bang on pitch, and I'm not seeing any foldback monitors on stage. He's like just nailing it. And, everyone in the band is doing such a great job. There's no little like oops moments. It's just all solid. There's a couple of little differences. The drums don't go da 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 every time in the solos, like just kind of keeping a beat. And, they were really so early on in their career at that point, 1970. And I think they were going to do really well.
Pretty good.
Let's see another song.
Let's go out of the room of any old people. Somebody titled Handed Doom.
All right, that's interesting. There's a bit of just uncertainty for, okay, are we ready? Are we about to play the next song? And it's just a little bit awkward. Now, as time goes on, Ozzy and the band, they become so much more well-oiled with their performance machine. And the thing that I find really interesting is that it's not that awkward, it's not that bad, but it's just those little 1%ers that just really make, for a really, really, really successful band that's kind of at stadium level. Whereas at this point, they weren't a stadium band yet. They were getting there, really quite successful, but they weren't, household name all around the world. You can just see, it's like, oh, are they ready yet? Are they ready yet? Oh, not quite yet. Okay, is it now or is it now? So it feels so weird saying that, Black Sabbath, legends. But everyone on the screen is a human. And we all start somewhere and we all have our journey. And so it's really a blessing for me, a mere mortal, to be able to see this. Like, oh, right, of course. They weren't the big, huge stadium band ready from the get-go. They were very close. But yeah, a little tweak like this being needed, was evident at this time.
Time's caught up with you. Now you know the scene. Your skin starts turning green. Yeah, you never lied. Because you never lied. Isn't there your mind? I treated you unkind. First it was the bomb, Vietnam the bomb, disillusioning. You push the needle in. From life you escape. Reality away. Victory of mine.
Wow, it's so interesting watching Ozzy, such a young Ozzy. So good at his craft. Now, I don't know if you're noticing this. I'm just noticing such a subtle little difference, being a little bit more youthful in this particular performance. He sings a line and then just kind of like looks around. And then he sings the next line and then looks. And there are times I will do this myself. I'm very guilty of it, where, you know, you do something and then you're kind of looking around at your bandmates. It's hard to describe. It's like you're not super comfortable, so you're just looking around and just making sure, you know, everything's all right. And I would just assume that, you know, over the years when Ozzy sang this, he would be more comfortable and more sure of himself and more just, I'm singing the line, and then just keeping the poise, keeping the pose, keeping the look, connecting with whatever it is that he's connecting with. He's not singing a line and then kind of breaking character and then singing another line and then breaking character again. You know, there's nothing wrong with looking around and connecting with your bandmates, but there is that emotion that he's got when he's singing the line, and then he kind of sort of loses it for a bit when he is looking around. So, yeah, this is fascinating, checking out this young Ozzy. Fantastic dynamics. You know, the band's going, you know, hell for leather, and then they bring it right down. Now they're back. Now, this is a great different tempo feel change. This is so good. How many bands were influenced by this one band? Because I don't recall anything before 1970 sounding like this. They must have influenced so many. Such great dynamics. think I've said it twice already how good the dynamics are in this song, but like, if you're not really familiar with the guitarist of Black Sabbath's story, you can see it right there. He had a horrible accident in a factory, I think, where he was working. Yeah, he snipped off the tips of 2 of his fingers, and so has these little tips put on so that he could still play. And it doesn't sound like he has any form of either disability or missing parts of his fingers. The fantastic, way he's playing just sounds better than pretty much everybody that I know that has their full fingers.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Awesome. All right. So as you can see here, that's 2 songs in, and there's still a number more. I reckon I'll watch one more. Just before I do, let's just talk about, what are some of the things that really have made Black Sabbath successful. One is their unique sound. One is their energy. One is their amazing playing. And also I've mentioned the great frontman, Ozzy Osbourne. What an absolute legend. He went on from this point here to much greater heights as a successful human being. And it's so great to just see this youthful, early performance in front of a not too large crowd, I would imagine. Be in front of a couple hundred people maybe. And that's just awesome. Imagine being there. Imagine being able to watch Black Sabbath just in front of just, a few mates. Awesome.
Welcome to number of our new LP now. It's a nominee title out, man. If you want to clap, you can.
All right now. That's it, the roof. I want everybody to clap.
There's somebody not clapping, I can see.
Now, louder.
Stamp your head.
That is such a great example on crowd participation. It's become a bit of a cliche now. No, louder, no, louder. But Ozzy's got 100% conviction. You 100% believe everything that's coming out of that guy's mouth, especially in that moment. He's putting his full body into it and he's pleading with the audience, clap your hands, louder. He's not kind of doing the rock star thing of, do this or whatever. He's putting his heart and soul into it. And so if you're ever performing and you're ever trying to get the crowd to do something, don't be concerned with how it might be coming across. Just let them have it. Go for it. so much energy. Ah, what an awesome guitarist. What an awesome solo. Now, I was actually a little bit distracted, truth be told. Just listening to the way Bill Ward was playing the drums, supporting the guitar solo. And I just noticed that, you know, with his hi-hat, he's playing the hi-hat and it's kind of open, but it's not super open, super sizzly. And I just found that interesting, being that it was a solo. And, you know, if it's a solo in a heavy rock song, and you're playing hi-hats, it would be pretty open and sizzly. But I guess that wasn't really the style back in 1970, to be have them open and sizzled as much. Check it out. Kind of opening and closing them a bit. Ooh, tempo change. Yeah, see, like here, hi-hat's closed. Yeah, so it makes sense that the hi-hats would be closed in the verse when Ozzy's singing, because, you know, it helps take away some of the noise onslaught that's underneath the voice. You know, the voice wants to be able to breathe and sort of soar higher and be heard and be clear. When it's the heavy riff, dun, 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 if it was me behind the drum kit, I'd be opening the hi-hats. But I guess, you know, yeah, it just wasn't the style at the time. And also, I am not a world-famous drummer, so maybe I should be closing my hi-hats. Let's listen again. Excellent. All right, like what I said, that there's still probably a song or two left in this video. I'm going to go watch this myself now, but I feel like that I'm done here reacting. I've learnt what I needed to learn. And so what is that? What have we learnt? Well, I've said it before, Ozzy Osbourne, legend. And the fact is, actually, they're a super group. All of them. Geezer, Bill Ward, Tony, Ozzy Osbourne, just big, huge legends in their own right. And, you know, they each played such a big, important part to the sound. You know, very similar to the four in Led Zeppelin and the four in the Doors and just bands where it's like, could you imagine one of those members not being there? You know, it's so important. Everything that they did, you know, was just fantastic. Now, I did mention a few things where I noticed earlier on in their career here, but, you know, look, it didn't take them very long in order to be able to just keep making the tweaks and then become the household name that they did become. And they were destined for their greatness because they had so many things in play. They had such an original sound. They had such an energy. They had such a high quality execution of their sound and of their great songwriting. And also a couple of things that I haven't mentioned is they've got a really good cohesive look, and also, you know, their instruments and their equipment that they've got on stage, it's all really, really, really good quality. They also know how to use it as well. So let me ask you, out of all of these things that we've been talking about here in just analyzing this early Black Sabbath concert, let me know in the comments below, what is it that you've learnt from this and what is it that you can apply to you in your musical journey? And speaking of your musical journey, no matter where you are on the musical journey, if there's one thing that I've learned is that you never stop learning and you can never stop improving. And so allow me to offer you a bit of a hand if I can with that. And so what I'm getting at is that I've got an ebook. It's a free download. It's called 5 Steps to Fast Improvement. Basically, we've all been chasing our tail and not feeling like we've been making the improvements that we want to make in our life. And if you're resonating with that right now and you're thinking, yeah, it would be good to be able to clear up what is it that I need to do in order to be able to improve at the rate that I like. Well, this ebook, it's a quick and easy read. And what it does is it just really makes it clear what the 5 steps are that you need to take in order to get the improvements that you want. So if that sounds like something that'll be really helpful for you, I'll leave the link below. It's free. Go give it a download. So there you go. That's it for me. And for the early Black Sabbath, thank you, Black Sabbath, for giving me the inspiration and giving us such wonderful music to be able to listen to and the wonderful live performances that you still continue to do. So without any further ado, my name is Crafty. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Leave me a like, leave me a subscribe if you would like to see some other videos here. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this Crafty Music Tips video. I'll see you in another one really soon. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just remember, you don't need to do everything right now. Just do the next thing. Cheers.